Hello, 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 everyone. Mike Arnold here, co-founder, Pat Trading Partners, along with Bob Iacchino. So, what does everybody think today? How did everybody do? Did you survive? Wavy, of course, starting off with Tesla, and it's looking pretty bad. Yeah, we got down that key 950 area. Remember key 950, back close above 1,000. We had that triple bottom as of last Friday. We broke down below it. I would want to see another key close. Again, a key close below 1,000 at this point would not be good. Danny's still waiting for the high Sonic Q. Danny is still waiting for the gap fill. We'll have to see. I am too. I am too. We are closing back just above the 50 exponential. Doozy of a day. We'll go through some interesting stuff right now. What daily, by the way, in bearish mode. Let's just check it on that weekly too. So, not yet down. See, still need the gap fill to get to the bottom of the weekly rotation zone, but this could easily rally back up. By the way, it confirmed this double top. You can see it's really nice on the weekly. You see the double top here. Confirmed. I need a weekly close below this to trigger the double top for me. I'm not doing it on a daily basis. I need a weekly close below this level for those double top levels. And those would be back, with this 850 area, 780, and 714. I need a weekly close just to clarify that. This could be a very nice short-term bottoming. It is in bearish mode on the daily. In order to get back to neutral, we essentially need to get up. Right now, I'm just talking about 1070s. That easily just go off 1080. You get a key close above 1080, it's back in neutral mode, but it's still in consolidation. Then, uh, let's see. We'll go through some stuff. Today was a really interesting day. There were some good entries. I posted stuff in Discord in this morning with what I was watching for and key stuff. Again, I am not a signal service. I'm not here to call out trades. I'm here to help with levels and everything else because there are multiple entries depending on your time frames. And I cannot trade everybody's account, nor would I attempt to. Just clarification on that. So when people message me, what was the entry? Which entry? On the 5 minute, on the 15 minute, on the 1 hour, on the daily? Which is it? I can teach you, and I want to teach people how to do this, not be dependent on me. If I get hit by the proverbial bus, at least you've learned something. You learn to fish. You don't rely on me catching your fish. This is generally nice topping and bottoming patterns. And I'll show you, let me just, for the people who can't stick around for the whole thing, here's your key thing that you want to watch for. To help confirm this is a generally bottoming pattern, you put on your harmonics from the low to high of this bar. So that's this one bar. Okay, so for tomorrow, I do not want to see a close back below the 62.5% level, right around 977.50. You get a close back below that, then I will be watching for a retest of those lows. Until that happens, this is a bottoming bar. So it is a short-term bottoming pattern. I'll show you back when. Remember this bar? Let me get to that daily again. Who remembers this? This bar right here from October 26th. Who remembers that bar? I sure do. Was this a topping bar? Yes. What invalidates that topping bar? Well, same thing. You would have put on, and I don't cover everything every day, so just because I don't cover a specific technique does not mean it's any less relevant. It's just I can't cover everything every day because this would be too long a live stream. Where are we now? There we are. So you're conversely, you were watching for a close above the 62.5% level. So let's see, where are we? We're still at 26. Now I got to get all the way back here. Hold on. Do I go back that far intraday? So back here, you were watching for a close above it. Now, it's better on longer term charts, but the moment it closed still above this intraday, after this little spike down, closing back above the next day, you got that close above the 62.5. Start watching that that is not a topping pattern, and to retest the highs, which it did a couple days later. Okay, so that's just an example, another recent example on a topping and bottoming pattern of the same kind of bar. So put that in your notes for trading. That is a really good idea, because if you start breaking below that level, watch for a retest of the lows. The lows don't hold, then we're going with the gap fill and key harmonics down from there. What does Sterling say? Proud of myself. I missed every trade I would have taken because of work, so I didn't trade it. Not forcing trades. That's very good. And remember, make it your trade, not anybody else's trade. And if there's no trade for you, don't worry about missing a move. There's always another move. Because, all right, if we get still, I'm still watching for a 4-hour close above this bar, which would be a short-term aggressive bottoming entry. And then the targets would be the 4-hour rotation zones, both sides of them, with moving up stops when it hits the first one. So let's see now. Let's go through today, and we'll real quick. The other side of the gap is a previous all-time high. You mean the other side of this gap, which you mean this? The other side, this gap was, there were many all-time highs going up into this run-up. This was an all-time high. This was an all-time high. This was an all-time high that formed the gap. But yes, if you close this gap, it does close to a prior all-time high. Short term, we already had some harmonics on here from before that, I had 974 to 977. I don't know if I had those on there before I posted them in the Discord today, but then we stopped there and then sliced through it. The next area I was watching was 940, 978 to this 950 area. We already had that key 950 area identified. So that was, and that area, I'm trying to clean up some of this so it's easier to see. So that level was from, I'll show you exactly how I got that. That was from the major high, this major swing high right here, coming down to this key low on Friday, which gave me this 940, 950 to 950 area, which we already identified with this gap open. So that was my first major support level on this sell-off. We just got a blistering move up there, up here. One of the things when you get these moves up from that key level, remember you can use your harmonics right here on this little rebound, and you don't want to see a close below the 62.5 level again if you did anything on this aggressive buy. I even believe I had this on a 1-minute chart down there, and this is actually a very aggressive entry. This is why you watch for closes. You see how well this level held, and I believe I put this in. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe I put this chart into Discord. Did I not, on the 1-minute basis? You see how well that held on a closing basis? I'm going to keep stressing closes because too many of these little wicks fake people out. But this is a really another pullback decent entry when you have this, because then you have a key level to watch for with your stop below that. You can always put an emergency stop below the next harmonic down. But then when you start breaking up here, that's a really good sign that you have a continuation trade, and this bottoming pattern has held then. this bottoming pattern. So with this key reversal, so if you didn't get in anything on here, which was hyper aggressive, again, I have to keep resetting this back and forth, but this was a hyper aggressive pattern. There was not a great pattern besides this momentum taking off. That was the only other entry. If you did not get on this momentum move, and this is only for short-term traders, and I know I put in Discord, this wasn't for 99% of traders. Then you're watching for this kind of key pullback. Again, 50, 62 and a half. What you don't want to see is a close below the 62 and a half. And then you got the rotation up. And that was one of the key things right there. I'll go over other things today. I do the, as everybody knows who've watched this for a while, we do the gap harmonics. The gap harmonics. So you put up that from the prior day's close, gap down, and you keep trailing it down. Here's the low, and now you're watching for a close. Oops, I have it the wrong way. You're watching for a close above the 62.5% level. And that signifies, it doesn't have to go right away, but that signifies it's the probabilities then, as long as you don't make new lows, favor closing the gap fill. Here was the close. All right, see this bar right here? And watch it on a 5 minute, a 15 minutes stronger, but at least if you get a 5 minute, if you're aggressive, you can start utilizing that. And then you start watching for the gap fill. So after that put down, then I'm watching for the gap fill. Here's another really great safe play, and we did fill the gap the whole way. Here's another really great safe play. If you're looking for not as aggressive as that little bottom entry, but you're looking for something, you spot the gap fill parameters and you're looking at a potentially bottoming formation. Let me show you a fantastic play that's a bread and butter play for me. So you see how we came up. This was the key level that made it. Now this is key resistance right here. That does not mean there's a trade yet. I'll show you what the trade is that I watch for. First cross rotation zone of the 5 minute. You get back above this key resistance area, and then you watch for a pullback to that area into the 5 minute rotation zone, because we had the gap fill in our favor, with a rotation up, because then you can keep a pretty tight stop here, very low risk, and you can start playing up for the gap fill and raising your stop up as you continue to travel with the 5 minute rotation zone. So why is that a great play for me? Because I have the rotation zone, I have prior resistance becoming support, and I got a nice little rotation back up, and my odds favor the full gap fill. So that is a more patient play, waiting for both price action and the rotation zone concept, and prior resistance becoming support to hold with a confirmed rotation back up, with trading in the direction of the probabilities because of the gap fill. That's one you should mark down and watch for that and learn to practice those kind of trades. Yeah, I still have the pausing bars up here. So then from this key low, this was a nice pausing bar, 106.80. And I remember watching for the full gap fill, which was to the full gap was 115.14. This gave a harmonic 1013.84. You see you're stalling out there, back to 5 minute rotation zone, filling the gap, and then coming up here 1020.88. And we had this prior just price action high. Remember, use your candle bodies, not the wicks. You see right there, and you have a really nice cluster up there, and you have waning momentum with those divergences coming up. And you know, this sort of, what was the exact, did that make it higher high on the 15 minute? 78.64, 78.70, pretty much just a double top, slightly higher high, but 5 minute was definitely waning momentum. 50 period exponential on the 15 minute, the cluster up here with that prior little 5 minute resistance area, and your harmonic, and that's all she wrote, returning to this level we've had on the chart for a long time, this 102.92, so essentially 103. So that's how that day unfolded. Where was my, we never got this bullish line in the sand from last week. Never got above it. It was just intraday bullish plays. Tomorrow, Essentially tomorrow, my bullish line of sand, I need, let me get this level out of the way. Just looking to see what I have here. I really need it above the 1019 area. 1019, I need it above there. This little short-term resistance shelf right in there. That'll get me into bullish mode for tomorrow. Again, this is something that you're going to want to watch. Let's go through it also. We reacted initially at the, I'm not going to go through all the 15-minute stuff I watched for in the Discord. I put in here, I was watching for a key close above the 15-minute, and we finally got it right here, which then you got that nice little 5-minute entry. So that's flat, was closed above the 1 hour, just pulled back, dipping below it right now. But on a run up tomorrow morning, I'm watching this 1030 level, which is definitely good for, if you're a longer term bullish, definitely good for raising stops. And then I'm going to be watching with the 4-hour rotation zone coming in at this 1040 level, 1039.43 with the 4-hour rotation zone. That's definitely a good area to raise stops and or take some partial profits. Above there, then I'm really keying off this. We don't have much. Let me jump. Sorry, I'm jumping around in charts, but you get a close above this little shelf. Really, if you watch 1030, that'll take you into that. You see, we don't have many stopping points in here. Clear path move. Clear path move. I'm still going to key off of just slightly lower than this prior resistance shelf of 1069. I'm still going off 1063. 1063 because maybe you could extend it to that 1070, but we got the first cross of the rotation zone. So anywhere 1063 to 1070 is a major target on this bottoming pattern run up for me. All right, and that's definitely, again, aggressively move up stops and take some profits off, because you could come up here and roll over and still make a lower high. Now, all that, if you get that close below that 62.5% level of this bottoming bar, this long-legged bar, then my bullish mode is off the table. All right, so that's my clear line in the sand, and then I will be watching for the lower price action, and we will update this on this swing. Hold on one second. Now I'm going to drop it right down to here. I'm dropping it on the most recent daily swing to this bottoming bar. And we're going to do, I'm really watching for the full gap fill bit in here, but we'll watch that 922.71 area. And then we get through the gap fill, then I'm keying off this double harmonic of 895 area. That's the 50% retracement of this run up. So if we start breaking back down, I have some bullish targets below, and I will start getting more aggressive. Some bearish targets below, and I will start getting more aggressive on the bearish side. Just want to see where this reverse harmonic takes me to. Nothing yet great there. So those are the minor targets. Should we break down, you can use the reverse harmonic. But remember, if we continue to rally tomorrow, that level has to come up. I don't have another good, you can go off this most recent leg, but I'm going to use this with this little resistance shelf right there for the time being. So any other questions? Let's see. And if it says the last Feb high, let's, for that gap fill, last Feb high. Oh, you mean this area right over here? Yeah, this prior high right in here is you're talking about with the gap fill too. Yep, this I believe was that, no, yes, this was the highest close right in there, and you do have it near this prior Feb high. So there is some key support with that gap fill right there. And you remember, I just talked about it, you have the 50% level and that harmonic going down. So if we do break below, even before this double top target, this, I would not ignore this 895 target after the gap fill. That is very, very, very key target for me. Let's see. Hi, Motor Trade. How are you doing today? Had a Monty burn. Since we don't maintain positive territory, it appears more sideways to down is in store. We shall see. Again, bearish mode on the daily. So I'm watching for slight rallies, but then rollovers. Again, we don't have out of the, this is not like a generational buy signal. This is a short-term buy signal for me unless we get below that key retracement level. And that would be, anything would be stopped out that wasn't taking profits already. What else do we have? Thank you for the harmonics. Harmonics are great. Really learn harmonics. They are fantastic. Sorry you got clapped today on puts. Hope you survived okay. Remember, if you're in this short term and you're going to turn it into longer term plays, keep in mind your time frames. And my one bit of advice is to not get complacent with moving up stops and locking in profits, either through taking stuff off at key levels or definitely aggressively moving up stops in case of rollover. And as I said earlier today, for intraday price action, it was with the gap fill, and that was definitely an area to take some profits off and then move up stops. Because you could always reload on a move up again tomorrow. So at least was locking in something. With this kind of price action and this kind of move, you don't want to just, oh, well, I'm just going to, it's going to 1200 or 1500 or 10,000 or whatever, and I'm not going to try to lock in some profits and at least protect myself. There's no way you should let anything that you put on earlier in the day today turn into a losing trade. Okay, and you're also your first sign, if you want to, even before that 62.5, if you start getting below 992, that was this little resistance shelf, that should become support. But if you start breaking below back in this area, I get really cautious on long trades. Yes, watch theta if you're in options, long options. If you're in short options, you really like the theta. Theta is a killer, especially in weeklies. Especially if if it does not move much and it burns. You know, theta can be can crush your option position. Now it's great for things your short options. You won't love that theta. Yeah. Is anybody else having issues with a fuzzy pick? Let me know. There shouldn't be. Let me check my streaming stuff. Again, I'm streaming to multiple sites. Uh, so I'm just double checking. Anybody else having an issue? All right. Chris says it looks clear to him. All right. And Sterling says it looks clear. So, Danny, it might just be you. And you can always go back and watch the replay. All right. Keep that in mind if you want to get in with the charts. I'm trying to stream it as high quality possible for as many sites as possible. Right now, I know I'm going to 5. Just trying to get as many people in this as always, to get reach as many people. Worried about Apple being at top of daily range, could crash and bring down S&P already at bottom of its range. Yes, you do have Apple. I touched on that in the market overview. Apple, look at this. Here's why, again, harmonics. And they're not perfect, but they are so gosh darn accurate, it's ridiculous. So this swing to this high of November 22nd gave me 167.98 and 170.26. Top right near there, coming back to daily rotation zone, coming up today, and this is very toppy. You have a lot of selling up here in Apple. Look at that. This is why you don't always remove your harmonics right away. Top again here. So, and why is that even more important? Because now we have, and that's not a double top pattern. By the way, this is just 2 tops, but Apple overextended from weekly rotation zone. So Apple could, and here's your prior resistance becoming support. So Apple could easily return to 155, 166 area. and it's also back to overbought on a weekly basis with a divergence. So higher high, lower high in the RSI. So Apple is a key one to watch for. That's also why these momentum and growth stocks are getting, sold a bit more, and you are rotating. Remember, on this move up, just looking at, all right, oh, it reset already. But if you just compare your charts, uh, this is sort of the middle of the road. So you have your hot, warm, and cold porridge. So this is your warm porridge. S&P warm porridge hitting the other side of the rotation zone right now, but still not closing above it. Warm porridge. Cold porridge, NASDAQ. Look how far off it is. It now has this double bottom pattern on a short-term basis, but a longer term, it is in a bigger bearish head and shoulders pattern and well below the rotation zone. Compare that back to the S&P, already tested the other side of the rotation zone. Compare that to the Dow, hot porridge, already spiking above the daily rotation zone, closing back just below it, but it's gone flat with the rotation zone. And now after hours, not that means much. It's early Asian session. It's just above it. But look at this recovery. Compare this recovery, hot porridge, to cold porridge. Boy, I just did I really bring the three bears and porridge into a technical analysis live stream? Has anybody else heard that on any other YouTube channel for technical analysis, bringing in porridge concepts with the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P? Let me know if that's a new one. Maybe it should be my signature, the porridge concept. Sterling, no. There's a reason nobody else has done that. See? See, everybody's saying, yeah, because that's a stupid analogy. Never heard of that. I just made it up, the porridge concept. But it seems we have three markets, and we have hot, cold, and medium. Porridge is just right. So maybe this is the just right porridge. This is the too cold porridge, and this is the too hot porridge. There we go. Oh no, don't lump me in with that. Don't. Sterling, I'm going to boot you. Sterling, that I'm going to have to boot you. My cryptic. Don't put my porridge comments in with Elon's mad Twitter ramblings that are cryptic communications. By the way, are we having Dow being too hot? Well, actually, in this, I don't like lukewarm or cold porridge. I like warm porridge. So my porridge has to be hot. My porridge has to be piping hot. By the way, has anybody come up to the conclusion on what the 12.9 means? Again, I'm not going down this conspiracy, analyzing every tweet. It's a zip code in a water park in San Diego with telling me that 12.9 is going to be a date of a split. But is there any other information I'm missing on that? Or any other day, what's 12.9 going to be if it's not the split? I mean, I've heard everything. It's going to be opening of the plant, one of either Germany or Austin. It's going to be this. It's going to be when Elon stops selling. It's going to be this. It's going to be this. You know what? None of that matters. We have to trade price action. Otherwise, it's just hypothetical gobbledygook. So don't get caught up in that. Learn to trade the price action. The news takes care of itself, and a lot of times you can see stuff in the tape long before it comes out, and then everybody says, "See, that's why it did that." So don't get caught up in that stuff. And remember, key thing, if you want to take one key away, watch for at least that daily close below 1,000. That would not be good. Besides that intermediate low below this. With that, I will wrap it up. Oh, am I talking about eating or stocks? I've confused Oliver. We have the one is split. Two is, I don't know what two is. Two is Cybertruck. Three is something else. Dave, you got to get here on time. No pies, not porridge. Where's Goldilocks? Probably, let's see. 12.9 will most likely be the reveal of the Tesla skateboard. Yeah, and we had that SEC stuff with Tesla Solar today. So that was breaking, which is one of the things with that sell-off today with the whistleblower. And funny enough, didn't he just release that whistle last week? Huh. Interesting, Elon. Path trading partners to the moon. Maybe I should release a whistle and a flamethrower too. I'm missing out on opportunities here. Did I cover that 5 minute quadruple divergence just from the fact that it was just waning momentum and we hit that key? I already took it off. We hit that key harmonic right there. 10, 20, 88 right after the gap fill with a series of a quad divergence running out of steam, and hitting a divergence. And then that's definitely when you start moving up your stops. Again, we're not trying to call highs or lows. We're trying to call key areas where we take action so we can take our chunk out of the middle. What else do we have? What else do we have? Path trading to the moon. Thank you. My cyber whistle is in the way. So you actually ordered a cyber whistle. Okay. So would you guys buy path trading whistles? SpaceX launch date. So you think it's a SpaceX launch date? Cool. And sign site governed by foresight is sold at the right time. Either you take some off and move up a stop, or you move up a stop, or you do both. But it's good to take action at the harmonics. With that, let me know if you want some path trading merch. I bought the harmonic low. I saw I sold the harmonic. I don't even know what my merch would be. Somebody give me some merchandise ideas. Whistles, sunglasses, etc. I can see we can have the harmonic sunglasses to help you see the markets clearly. If Tesla releases Roadster on 12.9, you wish you had calls. There's always a way to get in a trade. Again, I'm trading the longer term price action right now. It still is not super bullish. It's short term aggressively bullish. Longer term is still weekly bullish, but longer term, shorter with daily is still bearish. It has to prove itself. Anything can happen until then. So there's always a trade. Just remember that. He announced the last split on 8/11, so the next split will be 12/9. That's a theory at least. Wouldn't the next split then shouldn't have been 9? Oh, I see. Well, we could go back 8/11. So why wouldn't he announce the next split on 9/12 instead of 12/9? PT Pack capitalizes on waning momentum t-shirts. All right, with that, I will talk to everyone later. Hope everyone has a great rest of your day, and I'll see people in Discord tomorrow morning. And bye for now.